Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Brujita. In today's video, I want to do a May book haul for you all. I accumulated a pretty good stack of books and it's only May 15th. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. All of these are secondhand books. None of them are like brand new from like Barnes and Nobles or anything like that. So I didn't spend a ridiculous amount of money on them. That's why I like to tell myself to make myself feel better. Also, this is a new setup. It's temporary. This was the shelf behind me with all the plushies. That one was originally empty, but for the sake of this video, I decided to put the plushies up because the empty shelf was just kind of sad. I am kind of sick. I've been sick for a couple of days now, and I'm tired of it, but I do feel a little bit better. I just wanted to make this video while I still had some energy. That's why I'm all stuffy. I'm congested. I don't know if I did that. Ew. Okay, so anyways, the setup is temporary, and the biggest reason why I wanted to make this book haul, even though it's only midway through May, is because I am reorganizing all of my shelves. I do have, like I said, a bunch of books. I don't know if you can see all of those bad boys. Also, by the way, this is a Dollar Tree pen, and she is so cute. I'm gonna expose myself here. It's definitely giving Garcia, Penelope Garcia from Criminal Minds. If you know, you know. Also, I did dye my hair, and we're just not gonna talk about the rest of this, but this part is cute. Anyways, so I do have quite a bit of, sorry, I keep readjusting the angle, but I just felt we were, you know, a little too close. You know, it's a little too intimate. I do have a little bit of a mix of genres here. I have some, I guess, middle grade. I got a bit of young adult. I have some horror. I got a few classics, and I do have some fantasy actually. Yeah, I'm starting to get more into my fantasy era. Also, I do have a lot of children's books. I'm very much like, this is my childhood shelf right here. This is a bit of a tangent. Like the nostalgia, I do read them. I'm actually thinking about making a childhood favorites type of vlog, possibly. But anyways, let's get back to the book haul. So I'm so excited. And you know what, the thing too that I feel so good about is I love a good bargain. I love finding something that could have been full price and it's like a ridiculously good deal. And the majority of these are that. There's only a few books that were over like $9. They were like $9, but the majority of them are like $9, like $10 or less, which it's pretty good. Half of this stack is the cost of like one hardcover book at the store. So anyways, let's get into it. I'm so excited. Okay, the first one is it called volume 10 of Baby Mouse. This is Baby Mouse the musical. One of my favorite childhood nostalgia books. I wasn't really allowed to read these when I was little, but I would beg my parents to take me to Barnes and Nobles, and I would sneakily go into like the kids section to like read them and just pray that like they didn't notice. Yeah, it's about a sassy mouse, and she's in middle school. She's just going about her sassy life. The artwork is so cute. Everything is black, white, and pink. Look at that. Gorgeous. So cute. Ooh, I don't know where to put these. Oh well. We'll pray. We'll pray that it stays in that little pile. Oh wait, hold on. Let me tell y'all the price, cause I'm nosy too. I got this at half price for $2.99. Pretty good bargain. Back in the day, this book cost $5.99. Books back then were not as expensive as they are now. Anyways, the second one is called Just Tell Me When We're Dead. And this was $1.25. This one is looking kind of vintage. I don't know why I showed you that. I guess because, you know, the pages are kind of yellowed out. But look at that cover. Can you even see that? Oh, gorgeous. It's so fun. I think this is one of those like campy kind of I feel like this is honestly like a middle grade book. I'm gonna be real here. I'm not gonna give you extreme details, just like the general gist or why I picked these books up, because some of them I'm too lazy to read the back of the cover. There's so many books. I ain't got all that time because my husband's gonna come home and I'm really hungry. I made sopa de fideo and some chicken. So Google is free. Goodreads, free. Just saying. I'm sorry. I feel like this is like a campy horror, middle grade horror, and it's from like back in the day. How far back? Let me double check real quick. Ooh, the crispy papers, or what? I don't really like the word crispy. I don't know why I said that. You know, like the crunchy papers. 1983. That's nice. And I don't know, it's just so cute. I'm excited to read this. It's not even that long. Okay, and then this one, it's called This Totally Bites, and this is from the Poison Apple book, I guess, series. This was $3.14. I got it at Barnes and Nobles. The nostalgic of this. Y'all remember that? Dewey Decimal System and all that? Look at that. Oh, I love this. So much nostalgia. I don't know. I always get excited when I see that. Like, my childhood. Sometimes at night, I can't sleep, and then I start obsessing about certain books that I read when I was younger. And I remembered this one. It was about this girl who thought she was a vampire. Because she only ever wanted to eat, like, red-colored foods. And she didn't want to sleep on her bed. She wanted to sleep like under her bed and like kind of like cross like this, and like being in like tight, like small spaces. So she was convinced that she was like a vampire. And then she had this one teacher that like she walked in, and her teacher was supposedly like perfect and everything, but to her, like, she just like smelled like rotting meat, which was weird. And like I don't know, like that's what I remember about the book, and I remember really liking it. And so I think this is that book, but this is the only book that I read. I didn't even know that it was a series. This one is a for sure nostalgia book, and I found this. I was freaking out because I found the Poison Apple book and then this in like right next to each other, and I'm like, oh, it's fate. And it's called How I Survived Middle School. Can you get an F in lunch? And this was $2.49. This one has it too. Okay. The next one is also a nostalgia trip. I'm just going through all the nostalgia books right now. I forgot to say that. A book that I really, really loved was The Boyfriend List by E. Lockhart. And I don't know if anyone else remembers this book. I know people know E. Lockhart now because she wrote We Were Liars. And that one was really popular, like a popular like book talk young adult book. But y'all don't know about this. And honestly, thinking back on it now, this is probably kind of like not the best book in the world. But when I was younger, like, yeah, middle school, I ate this up. This is, I believe, the first book. And then the second one is the boy book. I think it's literally called like the boy book. It's about this one girl. I remember she like had a bunch of these like boys that that was kind of close. She has like these boys that she had like experiences with, and she ends up talking to her therapist because she like goes through like a mental health situation. And yeah, she just goes down the list of the boys that she has had experiences with. And this sounds kind of weird, but I don't really know exactly how else to say, like interactions or something. And this frog is so cute. I'm so sorry. I specifically, because there's like two different covers, like two different cover designs, and I specifically was looking for this one. There's another one with like an actual person, like it looks like a legit, like someone took a picture of someone and like put it on the cover. And that one I wasn't living for, because this is a book that I like actually had, like I physically owned, so that was part of the nostalgia. I didn't want the other ones. This one I got at Goodwill, and paperback books at Goodwill I believe are $1.99 or $2.99, I believe, something like that. Next I have Dear Dumb Diary. I have a good stack of them over here. They're like right before the Dork Diaries ones. And I lived for the Dear Dumb Diary books. I read them now as like a 26-year-old, and I'm just like, girl, some of them I'm like, girl, you're so mean, but you know, whatever. So this was also from Goodwill. I believe this was like $1.99. And then for the last of the nostalgic like childhood books, I have Dork Diaries volume 4 and volume 5. So these are and they're so pretty. Like, dare I say, like the artwork in this, like it looks simple, but it's also like really not. It's so cute. I'm sorry. The fourth one was $6.99, and I got this from Half Price Books. But the second one, the fifth one, the fifth one was $6.49. Why? I'm not exactly sure, but what do I know? I don't work at Half Price. The next one, I believe this is a YA book. I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. I've heard, for the most part, that this is pretty good. I am Mexican, in case y'all didn't know. I think it's supposed to be like an emotional book about like the pressures of being a child of like immigrants and all that, and like the hardships and like these expectations that you grow up with, and like not wanting to disappoint your parents because they work so hard. Kind of wary of it, but I kept eyeing it whenever I would go to Half Price, and I kept like thinking about it, and then I went to Goodwill and I saw it hardcover. It was $2.99 or $3.99, something like that, and I'm like, you can't beat that. This book was originally $17.99, like at the regular bookstore, and it literally, like, it looks brand new. I mean, there's like a teeny tiny little dent, but like, who cares? Now I'm on to more of like, hold on, I got out of breath. The next stack here is more of like fantasy. We're just gonna go with vibes. We're just going with vibes here, okay? Except for this one. This for sure I know, and that is The Hunger Games. I'm pretty sure a lot of you already know. I have read The Hunger Games before. I read it in middle school. Before I read it in middle school, though, I watched the first 2 movies. I never read Catching Fire, and I never finished the other parts of the movies. One of the book club picks was what was it called? The one that just came out. Songbirds? Or is that a different one? I don't know. The people that know, you know. I ended up not reading that book because it was $30. It was a hardcover, and I wasn't feeling it. So I was just like, you know, I do want to read it eventually, but in my head, I want to read it when the paperback comes out. So, sorry, book club. I'm gonna reread The Hunger Games eventually. And then when I read like the prequel of it, I'll be like, oh my god, this is all background information. Yeah. Okay. Next one is Jade Fire Gold. I also got this one at Goodwill, since it is hardcover. It was like $2.99, $3.99, something like that. And it looks brand new. Wow. What is this about? I don't know. It does say revenge on it, and it's a fantasy. I'm interested in reading more fantasy books right now. I primarily like to read horror, but I don't know. I've been feeling the fantasy. Okay, and this is the one where I was really excited about, and I was like low-key like rethinking if I really wanted it. It was more than like $5, but you know what, that's okay because it's still a really good price. And it is A Dark and Drowning Tide. This was $8.99 at Half Price Books. I think this is I just realized I think this is an artwork version. Ooh, look at that. Okay, but look at that cover. Gorgeous, beautiful, stunning. What is this about? Not so sure. Pretty sure though that it's like fantasy. To me, it kind of gives Dark Academia. Might be a bit of a thriller moment. The next one that I have, and look, listen. I usually, when it comes to like series, I like to buy the first one first, read it, and then if I enjoy it, keep buying like the rest of them. I did not do that this time, but you know what? That's okay. I have faith. That is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I have been told so many times that The Poppy War is so good. I read a few of R.F. Kuang's books. I read Yellowface, which it was interesting. I feel like it was something a little bit different than what I would usually read, but it was a book club pick, and it was interesting. I read Babel, which was also another book club pick, and that one by far one of my favorite books. Like, when I think of a dark academia book and what I want out of dark academia, I think of Babel. It's so good. Like, that was my standard. Like, R.F. Kuang made that standard for me with Babel, and I love her writing. Like, her writing, I feel like with Yellowface, it was more like, I guess for lack of a better term, like more relaxed, more like light-hearted in a way. And then with Babel, it was very like beautiful, gorgeous writing, amazing details, and research and all of it. Like, it was beautiful. A lot of my friends were like, oh, The Poppy War is so good, 5 stars. And I've been seeing a lot of like my favorite horror booktubers. They don't even like really read fantasy that much, and they're like, oh, I read The Poppy War and I didn't really know, but like now it's like one of my favorite books, 5 stars all around. And then I saw this at Goodwill paperbacks. It was like $1.99, $2, and I'm like, okay, I think this is a sign that it's my time to read this, the trilogy. And look at this. I think this is one of those like special versions of the books. I really was hoping to find The Poppy War ever since I've been, searching secondhand. I don't want to get like the brand new version. I want the thrifted version. There is some questionable stains on them, but you know what? $2, whatever. It's readable, it doesn't smell bad, and the cover is gorgeous. The next one is One Dark Window, and oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Look at that. Stunning. Oh my gosh. Awesome. I think this is a duology. This is a romance fantasy. This looks brand new. I got this at half price. I believe it was also $8.99. The tag fell off. Oh wait, the receipt's in here. $9.49. So this was the most expensive book in here in this entire haul. Beautiful, stunning. It literally looks brand new. Honestly, I kind of want to read this like right away. We didn't officially decide yet in my book club, but we were thinking for next month, for June, to read One Dark Window. And so I'm like, just in case we end up picking it up, I already got it right here. Because I feel like if I left it at half price, and then during my book club, everyone's like, yeah, One Dark Window, let's read One Dark Window, I'm not going to find it again. Because that's what happens. That's what happened when I was trying to find Recursion by Blake Crouch for the book club book, because I always saw it, and I'm like, I'm thinking about getting you, but maybe I'll wait. Then when we picked it for book club, I couldn't find it no more. So I don't know, I was so salty about that. Another thing too, I am not very much like a spice loving girl in the sense of like spice in books, spice in romance. I don't know what it is. I'm a grown woman, okay? I'm a grown married woman. And, if you, beautiful, gorgeous, lovely viewer, enjoy reading spice, valid. More power to you. You are braver than me. But I feel so icky. I just feel so gross with spice. And I guess there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I feel like there's a lot of, it's trending more to have spicy books. And I see it more as like a running theme when it comes to these things. I learned that there's like very minimal spice. Someone even like page stamped it, where like they said like pages this through this has the spicy things. Here's what you need to know from those pages if you really don't want to read it. And I really appreciate that. I'm sorry, I'm not brave. The next one, which also I'm so excited. This is gorgeous. This was $7. This was on clearance at Half Price Books. But this is the Starless Crown. Oh my god. Look at that. Beautiful. Stunning. Shiny. Ooh. Mama. Gorgeous. This was originally $29. and it was on sale for $7. I've been eyeing it up and down too, and then when I saw it on clearance at half price, I'm like, it's a sign. I need to get it. Next one is Brave New World, and I've been seeing that this is like trending. I don't know if that's just I'm making that up, but I've been seeing it more like advertised or something. This was from Goodwill, $1.99, $2, whatever. And I specifically wanted this cover because they have like another cover and I didn't really like that one. Also, right now I'm kind of going through a little bit of stack of what I consider like classic books. But the other one I have is also from half price. This was also on clearance for $1, and that is the Canterbury Tales. I remember reading this in high school and I thought it was like really fun. I don't know why, maybe it was just the way the teacher was like presenting it to us, but some of it was like really funny to me. And just like learning some of the history about like back then and all that. Like I just have like good memories of reading this. In the US originally it was $9 or $8.95, so pretty good bargain. And also I really like this cover. Next one is Crime and Punishment. I feel really bad because every time I try to pronounce the author's name, I can't do it. I'm so sorry. This was $3.99 at Barnes & Noble. And Barnes & Nobles? What the hell? No, half price. I do actually have a pretty, like a really gorgeous version of it. Give me 1 second. Why is she so chunky? She is filled up and down, mama. Ew, what? I got this one a while ago. I think I used a gift card on this for my birthday 5 billion years ago. I didn't want to use this version to like annotate it because I want to annotate it. So I think this is going to be more of like a collection or like a reread type of book, and this is going to be the one that I annotate. Okay, next one. I keep saying like we gotta hurry up and I'm not hurrying upping. The Ruins by Scott Smith. I got this one at Goodwill for whatever, $2. This is an old looking book. It says it was originally from Menards for $7.99, and also I forget that Menards has books and like magazines and sometimes groceries. Also it says that it was 50 cents at a different thrift store, but we're not gonna bring that up. I think this is honestly, from what I heard, these people are like stuck on an island and they have to learn how to survive, and it's supposed to be very gory, a lot of body horror. Next one is Still Waters. This was on clearance. Let me just show you the very first line. Can you read that? I'll tell you the censored version. The very first line says, "Life's a bee and then you die." Kind of intrigued for $1. The next one is The Historian. I got this for $4.99. This is a chunky girl. She is filled out. She got a body for days. Over 900 pages. And I picked it up because it looked really pretty. It was interesting sounding. I don't really remember now what it's really about. I picked it up and I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And then I started like holding it around, like deciding if I wanted it while I was looking at other books. Out of nowhere, a sneeze attacked me. And I ended up accidentally sneezing on the book. And I'm like, well, now I have to get it because why the heck would I put it back when I sneezed all over it? That's disgusting. So now I have this book and now I have to read it because I don't want anyone else to touch that book because it has my nasty little sneezy germs on it. Okay, next one is If She Knew. And this was also $1 at Half Price Books, and I think this is self-published. It's giving self-published. Follows a 55-year-old empty nester retired FBI agent. She has to hunt down a killer. She I guess she comes out of her retirement and she hunts down a killer. It sounded really interesting, and it was $1, and it looked pretty, and that's why I got it. Ooh, okay, hold on. Okay, I picked out the book and I had like a whole bunch of stacks over here, and they almost all fell off. The next one that I have is the Sanatorium, and I've heard some things about this from like the horror thriller community. This is definitely from a library. It does have this as well, and it has like that little plastic protective cover thingy. Winter horror, like claustrophobic type of thriller. There's like a murderer. The main character is trying to figure out who did it, and there's not just like one person that was murdered. It was like more than one woman that has been murdered, and she's just trying to figure that out while everyone else is just freaking out. It was like $3 at I keep wanting to say Barnes and Nobles. It was at Goodwill. The last book, y'all. The last book. Thank you so much for bearing with me up until the very end. The very last book is Here, There, or Possibly Elsewhere. This for sure is like a self-published book. I got this one at Goodwill. This was like $2. I kind of feel bad in a way. I actually went to a Halloween like store, like shop, like an indie like Halloween horror shop, and I saw this book there, and it was like a local author, and I wanted to buy the book, but I didn't really have that much money to spend, so I couldn't buy it, but I really wanted to. And this is originally like $20, and I got it for $2 at Goodwill. But this is like a horror. I think it's kind of like a paranormal horror. But there's the author. The author's Patrick J. Powers. Please go check them out. Support the local authors, because I feel kind of bad that I didn't get it before. Then I found it, because I don't know where else I would have found it. I forgot what the name was, but then I saw the cover and I'm like, oh, it's that book that I wanted to get. I think paranormal is one of my favorite like horror genres, so I'm really excited to read this one. So yeah, okay, we made it through, guys. We made it through. It only took half of my storage space and the 10% battery I have left. We made it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am so excited to not only read these, but finally organize my shelves, because they are in some need. My room needs like some fixing up, some organization, and I'm kind of like going crazy over it being so messy. I have books all over the floor. Ooh, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. I don't know why I said that weird, but whatever. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you guys in the next chapter. Bye.